Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the T67. It's a Tier 5 American tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Murovanka, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. That's the second replay we've done of his in, well, since the last one. Okay, this is the tank destroyer that's very nippy but turns like a pig. It's got a 76mm gun with a very fast rate of fire and is very versatile. It's got low profile, good top speed, good gun depression, 10 degrees, but it has very, very thin armour. In fact, it's only 12.7mm on the hull and most of the turret. And the heaviest armour on the vehicle is actually on the front of the turret, and that's only 25.4mm. It also used to have a very small ammo load, but they've increased the ammo capacity now to 70 rounds, and that makes it possible to play this tank and win the game. In the past it used to be that you'd run out of ammunition if you tried to blast away at everything. It does have fairly weak gun dispersion, so yeah, the shells don't always go exactly where you want them to. They do wander, but it is a very good tank destroyer. And it can be very deadly to an enemy tank which has got a slow reload, because of course it's got a 115 alpha, and that means you can pump out several rounds into an enemy tank before they can fire just 2 or 3. Gets a hit on the B1, the French Char B1. Yeah, the reload time by the book is 3.07 seconds, but you can see that ProvoBob's got 2.7, and he's putting that to good use at the moment because every shot is going through the B1. Mind you, he is using APCR, and well, you shouldn't use APCR too much on this vehicle because you will run up a huge ammo cost, but probably you will win the game if you do. It is basically a seal clubbing tank. 10 degrees gun depression there. Allows him to look over that ridge line. I wouldn't waste your premium ammo though. We know there's a BDR-G1B up there and a Matilda, but you're much better off going after that DW2 and using standard ammo, because standard ammo will penetrate him no problem whatsoever. Okay, he's getting tense now. Just switch over to the standard ammo. That'll go through. No, he's forgotten that he's pressed the 2 button, you see. He just rubs his face all over the 2 key and blows a huge amount of credits down range. Mind you, he enjoys it. I just wish we could wean him off the premium ammo. He's actually aiming too high though. He's trying to go for the lower plate, and you don't need to. Just go to anywhere on that vehicle because it'll go through. The armour on the DW2 is disgracefully thin. Almost as thin as a T67 for that matter. Well, as many of you know, the T67 was one of the development tanks that the US Army went through, or rather the Tank Destroyer Corps went through when they were trying to get their new vehicle, their new tank destroyer. Initially, the first vehicle was the T49, which is basically the same as this vehicle but with a covered roof, and then they got to the T67 with the open roof, made by Buick, with a Wright Continental engine, an aircraft engine in the rear, which is the same as on the Hellcat, and it was the M18 Hellcat was the vehicle they eventually ended up with. Okay, the KV-1 he can't get at the moment because he's in that corridor at the midpoint, but he's been killed anyway, and he was taken out by the gorilla. So he's gone back to firing premium rounds at a tank he cannot see, and he doesn't know if he's there. And again, he's wasting ammo, wasting credits by doing that. He shouldn't fire anything at anything he can't see unless he knows for certain that that tank is there and he can't see it. If it's hiding in a bush, if it's previously been seen in that position and he knows it was there a second or so ago, the BDR and the Matilda were seen there a long time ago. They may not even be in the same neighbourhood now. They might be the other side of the map as far as he's concerned. Okay, now he still hasn't switched to his standard ammo. He just forgets to do this, and that's why he burns so much credit. He does admit that that's why he does it. He forgets which ammo he's in. Again, he's blasting away his premium And any second now he's going to run out of premium, and then he'll have to play the game with standard ammo from there on in. He's killed the Kehoe, but he's only got 2 premium rounds left. And, well, let's have a look at the team list on the enemy team. There is a Matilda, and he's a good player. He's not a bot. There are bots in this game, but Matilda is a player called Nobody Knows Me, and there he is. And he's a Unicum. Okay, this is going to be difficult now, because you see, virtually every shot the Matilda fires will penetrate through a T67 hull, and he hasn't got the ammo. His last premium round, he blew his second to last on the BDR, but now he can't see the Matilda. He knows they're there, and his team are doing very well in the Magic Forest. They've got out to the far end, and they've been stopped by a Leopard, but there's only 4 left on the enemy team, and 2 of them over on the west side, and that Leopard over on the other side with their Arty. Well, he got his last premium round, got him a hit on the B1, and now we're getting hit by the Matilda. And you see, he has to pull back because he's got no armour, so he can't stop the 2-pounder shells from that Matilda penetrating him. In fact, the best thing he can do now is to go down to the, turn around and go down to the end and spot those enemy tanks as they come round the corner and start hitting them with the standard rounds. The Matilda is taking fire, so thankfully his teammates are getting to work on them. The 76mm should be able to penetrate a Matilda's hull. It's got enough pen to do it. Standard pen is 110 at 500 meters. You can see that here. 128 actually on these ones. Okay. Should be able to penetrate it, just needs to aim for the weak spots, which in a Matilda, as you know, is that driver's port right in the centre of the vehicle, or to go for the mantlet. Okay, so you should be able to see this one. Oh, and the Unicum is firing back, and he's very accurate. Okay, so ProvoBob's abandoned that attempt, and you can see our Arty's working. He's still working in the game. He's a gorilla. So he should be able to do a lot of damage to that Matilda. And it looks like the M8A1 is engaging the Matilda right now, so he's distracted. And ProvoBob can move forward and take shots now without the Matilda firing back. And there's the BDR. Yeah, standard ammo going through, no problem. And through the commander's hatch on the Matilda. And there's the kill shot. So he got one into the turret, the rear of the turret on the Matilda, which is fairly weak. That means there's only 3 enemies left, and one of them's the BDR, and that's the enemy Arty firing at us. And their Arty is a Fifi, so he can shoot accurately. Unfortunately, virtually every member of our team on the east side of the map who went through the Magic Forest has died, and there's only an M8A1 up there now, and I think it may be down to that Leopard who took care of 4 of our teammates. Yeah, he must be a good player. We've lost sight. Oh, and the Leopard has just killed another, the M8A1. Oh, is it? No, it's the enemy Fifi who got him. Now he's getting accurate shots on this BDR, and he's penning him with standard ammo. I'm just making a point. You can pen a BDR with standard ammo. The rear of the BDR is quite vulnerable, so you just need to get behind him and start plugging him. Our AMX-40 and BT7 are fairly weak on armour. We don't really want to let that BDR get more kills. He just needs to keep up. 61 kilometers an hour top speed on T67. One of the faster tanks at tier 5. Come on, you can get to him. He's got 4 kills already. He's looking at his 5th, and if he can get one of the last 2, he gets the top gun. Now you need to get closer. You can't see him. There he is. You see he's over the ridge line. Just so he got in through the turret, side of the turret with a 76mm. Yeah, he's penetrating him, no problem at all, with a standard round, and yes, he's got the kill. So you see, standard ammunition on that BDR. Well, it was only 1 round he fired, which was premium, and he did get a hit with that, but he managed to kill off the BDR using standard ammo, and now he's just got to do the same to the Leopard and the enemy Fifi. Well, he knows how to take down a Fifi because ProvoBob is an expert with Arty. Plays Arty quite a lot. He's a member of 1AR-M Noobs. So he knows that the gun shield on the Fifi is the easiest place to pen, but if failing that, you can aim for the side of the vehicle where the vents are to the engine, because that's a weak spot. And, well, there's also a weak spot on the other side, which is the hatch, which everyone gets in and out of, or the driver's ports. He's found the Leopard. Okay, he's not stopping though. Oh, now he is, but he's actually visible to the enemy. Yeah, that Leopard is fairly close. You need to be in the bush, Bob. In the bush, Bob. In the bush, Bob. You can see the trees going down. He's moving to a firing position. You're going to get hit if you stay there. He can see you. Yeah, we've lost sight of him because he's now concealed in the trees. And the BT7's coming back over this side. And if Bob stays there in the trees, he will get... Well, not in the trees, but outside the bush, he will get hit. And he's suddenly picked up on that. Okay, now he's protected. Let's hope that he's not seen. And there's the Arty. And yes, he can easily kill that. He got an ammo rack! But he was seen, so he has to move. Because that Leopard will be on him in a second. He's the last... Well, he's got his top gun now, actually, because he did get 5. So he must have got one which was unspotted. If that was his top gun. Okay, he's gone into the cap to try and lure the Leopard in. But there's the Leopard. He'll sit in the bush and wait for the Leopard to get close, and then he can take him out. Looks like the gorilla just hit him. There he is. He's going for the other tanks because he knows that they're weak. Let's go for the gap. There he is. Well, ricocheted off, but it didn't kill him. He's still there. And I think these rounds are hitting the building, not him. Oh, that's better. And the kill shot actually goes to the M8A1, and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tank for ProvoBob in the T67. He got a demolition expert because he blew up one of the enemy tanks. In fact, it was the Fifi right at the end that he blew up. And he also got a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. I missed off the kill for the BDR. It wasn't showing in the list because, of course, he couldn't see it at the moment that he fired and took him out. He just suddenly appeared as a kill, but it wasn't registering, and that's why the Fifi was his 6th kill. His win rate for that game was 13,126, which is kind of seal clubbing territory, if you know what I mean. A lot of these tanks were bots. The Leopard wasn't. That was a live player, as he appears on the list here, you can see. So let's have a look at the team score and see where everyone was. Well, ProvoBob was right at the top on damage with 2,749. The next highest was KV1 on the enemy team with 1,187. Third was their Fifi with 1,169. All of those were real players. When it came to kills, it was 6 kills to ProvoBob, 5 kills to the Leopard. He was also a very good player, but he didn't do quite as much damage as ProvoBob did. Of course, he was blasting away with those the 76mm gun and the premium rounds, and that's what was earning him so much in the way of XP, or HP I should say. So 5 kills for him. And when it came to base XP, it was ProvoBob again with 1,049. He was the only one to get over 1,000. The second highest was the Excelsior with 652, and the third highest was the Leopard with 576. ProvoBob fired 49 rounds in that game, so we had 21 rounds left at the end. 35 direct hits on the enemy, 23 penetrations. Yes, the hits being 35 gives you an indication of how inaccurate this 76mm gun is. Even if you're a very good player, the shells tend to wander. They've got quite a big dispersal. So it does help if you're close to the enemy to make sure that you get more hits. But you need to be careful and dial in your shots more accurately to get a much higher hit rate. on the penetration side, yes, he did blow a lot of premium rounds, and he only got 23 penetrations, but he could have taken down that BDR with standard ammo, as he actually did in the end. 4 splash as well. Damage of 2,749, of which 842 were at more than 300 meters. 2 hits received, both penetrations. Just goes to prove that the armor on this vehicle is dreadful. Both pens came from the Matilda, and yeah, he was a Unicum player, that guy. He chose to engage tanks who really didn't have the skill, and Bob obviously was able to get a pop up and get the kill when he needed it, when the guy was distracted, so it worked well. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 7 enemy vehicles engaged and damaged, 6 killed, and 118 hit points of damage assist, plus 43 cap points at the end. He earned 40,664 credits, but he blew so much premium ammo, and he really didn't need to. And I keep saying this because he could have done the damage with standard ammo, and he actually ended up making a loss for the game of 50,392 credits. 1,573 XP times 2 for the first victory, 3,143 for holding ops, and 6,295 experience points altogether. The T67, when I was first introduced to it, I was told by those experienced players who played it that it is one of those tanks you can get all the medals on. It's one of the, because it's tier 5 obviously, you can get all of the medals like the Radleys, the Pools medals, and in fact actually a lot of players use the T67 to seal club. I think ProvoBob just enjoys playing it because he can blast away as much as he likes and gets lots of damage in the process. So yes, and of course he's on the Australian server, the Australian New Zealand server, where they do have a lot of bots, and he's not doing it because he's seal clubbing the bots, he's doing it because he enjoys it. It's fun for him, and I don't disapprove of that. I just wish that he'd use the standard ammo and make huge profits off it as well, because he could make a lot of credits if only he'd used the standard ammo. Still, it's still a lot of fun, this tank, and I do approve of anyone who actually takes it out to teach the enemy a lesson, because it really is a lot of fun as a tank destroyer. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, do remember that we've got a second channel called The General, where you can watch great replays with pools medals and lots of kills, and there's no commentary to distract you. Thanks for watching.